Good morning to everyone. Myself, B. Thrisi Koteswari Bai, lecturer in chemistry, Sir CRR College for Women, Eluru. I am dealing the subject chemistry, semester 5, paper 5A. Title is Inorganic, Organic and Physical Chemistry. In this video, I am explaining the topic belongs to the second unit. Today's topic is magnetic properties of metal complexes. In this topic, I am explaining the topics are origin of magnetic properties, effective magnetic moment, types of magnetic behavior, experimental determination of magnetic moment. Origin of magnetic properties means the magnetic properties causes due to the reasons. The magnetic properties of substances in bulk are determined by the electrical properties of the subatomic particles, that is, electrons and nucleons. Nucleons means there are two types of particles in the nucleus. One is neutrons, another one is protons. However, the magnetic effects due to the nucleons and nuclei, that is neutrons and protons, are about 10 power minus 3 times those due to the electrons. That is, the magnetic effects of neutrons and protons are less than that of electrons by 10 power minus 3 times. So, they do not have detectable effect on magnetic phenomena. So, the magnetic effects due to nucleons and nuclei do not show much effects. So, hence the magnetic properties of substances are determined mainly by the electrons, which affects in two ways. Electrons have two types of movements. One is spin movement, another one is orbital movement. Let us see one by one. In the first point, electron spins on its own axis. For example, the top spins on its own axis, like electron also spins on its own axis. According to classical theory, the spinning of any charge produces magnetic moment. So the spinning of electron produces a magnetic moment. So such that it itself acts as a tiny magnet. So first movement is spin movement. Second one is orbital moment. Electrons are revolving around a positively charged nucleus, which is just like electric current flowing through a loop of wire, which is similar to the orbital. That is, the electron revolving around the positive nucleus, which is similar to the electric current flowing through the loop, which also produces a magnetic moment. That magnetic moment is known as magnetic moment due to orbital motion. So thus the magnetic properties of any atom or ion is a result of two types of movements. First one is spin movement of the electron. Second one is orbital movement of the electron around the nucleus. So effective magnetic moment. So moving of any charge will produce as a magnetic moment. Electron has two types of movements, spin movement and orbital movement. So in these two movements, it generates some magnetic moments. So the effective magnetic moment can be obtained by adding the magnetic moments due to first one spin motion, second one orbital motion. Due to spin motion, the magnetic moment generated is known as mu s. Due to orbital motion, the magnetic moment generated is known as mu L, where mu is magnetic moment. L represents orbital motion, S represents spin motion. So the formula for the magnetic moments due to spin motion and orbital motion is given by mu L is equal to GL into square root of L into L plus 1. Mu S is equal to GS into square root of S into S plus 1, where mu L is the magnetic moment due to orbital motion. Mu S is the magnetic moment due to spin motion. where capital L is total orbital angular moment, where S is total spin angular moment, and GL is the splitting factor for orbital magnetic moment. GS is the splitting factor for spin magnetic moment. Since for mu L, GL is equal to 1 and for mu S, GS is equal to 2. By substituting these values in the above formulas, we get mu L is equal to 1 into square root of L into L plus 1, which is equal to square root of L into L plus 1. Mu S is equal to 2 into square root of S into S plus 1. When the 2 goes inside the square root, it becomes 4. So its formula becomes square root of 4S into S plus 1. So the effective magnetic moment, that is magnetic moment due to both spin and orbital motion, is given by the formula mu is equal to square root of L into L plus 1 plus square root of 4S into S plus 1. It is measured in Bohr magnetons. Bohr magnetons are the units of magnetic moment. So this is the effective magnetic moment due to orbital motion due to spin motion. This equation is for the first transition series elements, that is for the 3D transition series elements. But however, in case of first transition series elements, the orbital momentum is largely suppressed or quenched, means it is decreased by the electrostatic field of other atoms or ions. So, for the first transition series elements, the value of capital L is 0. So, by substituting that L is equal to 0 in the above formula, we get mu is equal to square root of 4S into S plus 1. This formula is known as spin only formula because there is no orbital moment. Since their orbital motion is quenched or suppressed or decreased for the first series of transitional elements, that is 3D series of elements. This is the spin only formula. Mu is equal to square root of 4S into S plus 1, where S is the total spin moment. We know that the spin of electron, each electron is given by the formula 1 by 2. But there are number of electrons, so S is equal to 1 by 2 into N, where small n is number of unpaired electrons. So the formula of S is equal to n by 2. Substituting this formula in the above equation, we get mu is equal to square root of small n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons. This is also known as the spin only formula for the magnetic moment, where mu is the spin only magnetic moment and n is the number of unpaired electrons. So in this way, we can determine the magnetic moment by knowing the number of unpaired electrons. Next topic is types of magnetic behavior. This is explained by considering a substance which is placed in the external magnetic field, then the substances behave differently. So, by considering this, when a substance which behaves as magnet due to orbital and spin motion of its electrons is placed between the two poles of magnet, the magnetic field produced by the orbital and spin motion of electrons interacts with the externally applied magnetic field. That is, when the substance is placed in the external magnetic field, in the substance there are two types of movements, orbital movement and spin movement. Due to these two movements, there exists a magnetic moment. That magnetic moment, that magnetic field interacts with the external magnetic field, so the substance behaves differently. Different substances behaves differently. Different substances when placed in a magnetic field show different behaviors. The different magnetic behaviors of substances are three types. They are diamagnetism, paramagnetism and ferromagnetism. Let us discuss one by one. First type of substances are diamagnetic substances. The substances which are repelled by the magnetic field are called diamagnetic substances because this arises due to the presence of completely filled electronic subshells. When the electrons are completely filled, then that substance does not produces any magnetic moment. So such substances when placed in the external magnetic field, they are repelled by the external magnetic field. This is mainly caused due to the completely filled electronic subshells. The examples for these are scandium 3 plus, titanium 4 plus, zinc 2 plus and copper plus. When the diamagnetic substance is placed between the poles of external magnetic field, it sets itself at right angle to the external magnetic field. That is, the substance sets itself perpendicular to the external magnetic field. Also, the diamagnetic substances show decrease in weight in presence of external magnetic field. That is, when the diamagnetic substance is placed between the external magnetic field, it repels. So, its weight decreases in presence of external magnetic field. Second type of substances are paramagnetic substances. The substances which are weakly attracted into the magnetic field are called paramagnetic. This is caused due to the presence of unpaired electrons in the substance. When the substance contains unpaired electrons, so it will have spin and orbital moments. So there exists the magnetic moment. That magnetic moment interacts with the external magnetic field. So the substances which are weakly attracted into the external magnetic field, such substances we known as paramagnetic substances. These paramagnetic substances lose their magnetism on removing the magnetic field. For this, I am giving one example. When the safety pin is brought into contact to the magnet, then it attracts into the magnetic field. So, when the magnetic field is removed from the safety pin, it loses its magnetism. So, such substances are known as paramagnetic substances. This paramagnetism is caused mainly due to the presence of unpaired electrons. Most of the transitional metal ions have unpaired d electrons, so they show paramagnetic behavior. Some examples for the paramagnetic substances are scandium 2 plus, titanium 3 plus, copper 2 plus, manganese 2 plus, cobalt 3 plus. These are all having unpaired d electrons. So when these substances, when placed in the external magnetic field, these are attracted, weakly attracted into the magnetic field. And when the magnetic field is removed, these loses the magnetic nature. A rod of paramagnetic substance, when placed in a magnetic field, that rod takes up a parallel position to the external magnetic field. So it is attracted into the magnetic field. These substances, when placed in the magnetic field, are pulled into the field due to the attraction between them. These substances show an increase in weight in presence of external magnetic field. That is, when paramagnetic substance is placed between the poles of an external magnetic field, it is attracted into the field. Hence, it show an increase in the weight in presence of magnetic field. So here I am giving the example for paramagnetic and diamagnetic substances. This is a rod of paramagnetic substance suspended in the poles of an external magnetic field. External magnetic field consists of two poles, north pole and south pole. This is north pole, this is south pole. When the paramagnetic rod is suspended between the poles of external magnetic field, then it sets in the parallel direction to these poles, and it is attracted into the magnetic field. That is when the rod of diamagnetic substance is suspended between the poles of an external magnetic field. This is an external magnetic field, North Pole and South Pole. This is the diamagnetic rod is suspended between the poles of an external magnetic field. It is at the right angle position or perpendicular to the magnetic poles, perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. Since it does not contain any unpaired electrons, it is repelled by the external magnetic field. So it shows decrease in weight. Whereas paramagnetic substance or paramagnetic rod shows increase in weight in presence of external magnetic field. Next, third type of substances are ferromagnetic substances. What are ferromagnetic substances? Substances which are strongly attracted by the magnetic field are called ferromagnetic substances. There is a difference between para and ferromagnetic substances. Paramagnetic substances are weakly attracted by the magnetic field, whereas ferromagnetic substances are strongly attracted by the magnetic field. Paramagnetic substances loses their magnetism on removing the external magnetic field, but ferromagnetic substances do not lose their magnetism on removing the magnetic field, because in the first transition series, that is in the second half of the metal ions, there exists orbital motion also. So the magnetic moment is pronounced, so there is a strong attraction. For this I am giving some examples: iron 2 plus, cobalt 2 plus and nickel 2 plus. These are strongly attracted into the magnetic field. So such substances are known as ferromagnetic substances. Next, last topic in this video I am explaining is experimental determination of magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is represented with the symbol mu. The experimental determination, there are two methods for measuring magnetic. First of all, for determining the magnetic moment, we measure the magnetic susceptibilities. The magnetic susceptibilities is determined or measured by two methods, Faraday method and Gauss method. Gauss method is the most convenient method. Gauss method. In this method, a sample is suspended from one arm of a balance in such a way that it is partly in the electromagnetic field. When the magnetic field is on, then the sample is either repelled or attracted. That is, the sample is either a diamagnetic substance, then it is repelled, or a paramagnetic substance, then it is attracted into the magnetic field. So then the force required to maintain the position of the sample is measured by the weight that must be added or removed from the other pan of the balance to maintain equilibrium. That is, the Gauss magnetic balance consists of two pans. In one pan, a sample is suspended and which is placed in the electromagnetic field. In the other pan, the weights are used to maintain the force. To maintain the force required to maintain the position of the sample. If the sample is paramagnetic, then it will be drawn, attracted into the field. While it is diamagnetic, then it is repelled by the external magnetic field. Powdered sample is taken into a tube made up of Pyrex glass, and it is suspended between the poles of a electromagnet. The bottom of the substance, the bottom of the tube coincides with the center of the magnetic field, and the length of the tube is taken as 10 centimeters such that the magnetic field is zero at the upper point of the tube. like this. This is the Gauss magnetic balance. These two are pans. This pan, to this pan, the substance is, the sample is suspended, and also this sample is placed between the poles of an external magnetic field. This is North Pole and this is South Pole. This is the second pan. In this pan, weights are added or removed to maintain the balanced position of the sample. First, the powdered sample is taken in this is Pyrex glass. Pyrex glass whose length is 10 centimeters. This is suspended to the one arm of one pan. When this is a paramagnetic, this is placed between the center of the electromagnetic field. When this is a paramagnetic substance, that is when magnetic field is on, this substance will be attracted into the field. Then there is increase in weight of the substance. So to maintain this force, some other weights are added in the second pan. If this is a diamagnetic substance, it is repelled by the electromagnetic field. Hence, its weight decreases. So, some weights in the second pan are removed. So by this way, when magnetic field is on, its weight is determined. When the magnetic field is off, its weight is determined. This experiment is also repeated with empty glass, such as this Pyrex glass itself acts as diamagnetic substance. So this also loses some weight in the presence of external magnetic field. So the tube is uniformly packed with the sample and is vertically suspended from the beam of the balance in a draft-free environment. The weight of the sample in the presence of magnetic field and in the absence of magnetic field is determined. Let the difference in the weights of the sample under two conditions is delta W. Similar determination is also carried with the empty tube, since the empty Pyrex tube itself acts as a diamagnetic substance. It also loses some weight. Let the loss in weight of the empty glass tube be small delta. Then the formula for the magnetic susceptibility is given by magnetic susceptibility is expressed with the symbol Xi m, which is equal to alpha plus beta into delta W plus small delta into m by W, where beta is the calibration constant for the tube. M is the molecular weight of the substance. W is the weight of the substance taken in the glass tube. Alpha is a constant whose value is 0.029 into volume of the specimen. Small delta is loss in weight of the tube, glass tube, since glass tube is diamagnetic. Delta W is difference in first and second weights of the sample, that is in the presence and in the absence of the magnetic field. Then by using this magnetic susceptibility, effective magnetic moment is determined by the formula mu effective is equal to 2.84 into Xi m into T whole power 1 by 2, where Xi m is the magnetic susceptibility, T is the temperature on absolute scale. So by using this formula, the effective magnetic moment can be determined. These are the list of reference books for this unit also. Thank you.